Hello, hello. How's it going? Happy end of June. Today we are wrapping up the first half of 2022. I would love to know, A, where are you joining us from today? B, what has been your biggest, most epic celebration of 2022 so far? And C, what is the big, juicy goal you are focused on completing by the end of this year in the next 6 months? What is that big, juicy goal you're going to crush? All right, so let me get all of my stuff pulled up because, you got to get the video on the phone after you go live, the good stuff. So give me just a second. Yay. All right. Good. Awesome. We are live. Fantastic. How you doing on this fabulous day? So welcome to How to Be Recession Proof. Dun, dun, dun. Hello from Toronto. Welcome. So good. Let's see. Awesome. Cool. We are good to go. Okay. How to be recession proof. Obviously, there is a lot of talk in the news happening today, right? There's crazy things happening in the markets, the stocks, the crypto, the housing market, what's going on, all the things. I swear, I don't even watch the news. And honestly, every single day, there's something about recession this, recession that, blah, blah, blah. And so we are going to chat today about the top 3 shifts to make to ensure you will be recession proof. So if you don't know me, welcome. I'm Stacey Rasky, best-selling author, speaker, Iraq War veteran, badass biker chick, podcast host, but most importantly, leadership mentor and mindset coach, empowering revolutionary leaders to unlock their next level of genius and scale their impact while enjoying more time and creating the freedom and fulfillment they desire, especially with the ones that they love. So let's dive in. Holla! So good. I'm so surprised why I'm not getting everybody's info today. This is interesting. Oh, that's because everybody is posting in my group. Suki, Scott, how's it going? Josh, so good to see you guys. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. So, like I said, a lot of conversations are happening right now about whether or not we're going into a recession, and there's a good reason. Right? There's a lot of instability. There's a lot of flux. There's a lot of changing literally at the global level in this post-COVID world, post-COVID economy. It's just the reality of the way things are. But I'm seeing that there are people responding. And then there's some of us who are kind of like, all right, we're observing how this is all about how to empower you to respond in a way that is in alignment for you and your goals. And so that's the conversation we're going to chat about today with these important shifts, right? And this is around mindset, leadership, business, teams, the whole shebang, because everything starts at the top. Everything starts with you as the leader. So you know me, if you've been following my content for any amount of time, it's all about personal responsibility and accountability, aka boundaries, which we'll chat about that. But everything really comes from us and focusing on what we have control over. All of this stuff happening in the world, all the stuff happening in the economy, all the things that people are doing, not doing, whatever it is, at the end of the day, these are all things we cannot control. And so we will be chatting about the 3 most important things that you can focus on shifting because they are within your control to help generate the desired results and really ensure you are completely recession proof. Whether it happens, it doesn't happen, doesn't matter, because The key is stepping into being a version of you that is completely unconditional. And so what I mean by that is any external conditions don't matter. You are being the highest level leader, impactor, you that you can be. And you will generate the results that you want, the impact you want in the world, the influence you want over your team, your clients, any of the people or things that are important to you. It doesn't matter what's happening externally. If you are showing up as your best and shining your light in the way you are called to freaking shine in the world. So, number one, hope you're taking notes. The first and most important shift is being in massive self-ownership. Huge. This is so important. And I use the example of back before my rock bottom moment, right? When I was really affected by things that were external was when I was not in a place of self-ownership. I was still wearing the mask of who I should be, rejecting my truth, worrying about external shit, worrying about money, worrying about other people, what they thought about me, what they were doing, worrying about the future, worrying about other shit. All of my focus was on the external, but nothing internal. And so it's easy, even if you've had the habit of being in ownership before, to over time, we get distracted. We're, head down in the hustle, in the grind, all the stuff, right? All the stuff. Hey, Nicole. All of those things that we're doing, it's easy to be in that energy of external focus. And this is the opportunity to reset, right? To pull it back in and be back in that, oh, okay, I really need to get back to being in ownership of self. So this is radical accountability and honesty with yourself about who you are right now, how you're showing up, who you're being right now, and who you desire to be. And this is important too, because we've got to have that clarity on where we're going. We've got to know the level of leader we need to be to match our big, audacious goals. And if we don't have that really honest gut check with ourselves, this conversation with ourselves about how we're really showing up, we're not going to be able to close the gap between where we are and where we desire to be. It's super important. And this is something we always need the reset on because it's easy to deviate, right? Like I said, when we got our head down, grinding it out in the hustle, doing our stuff, working towards the goals. Remember, it doesn't take much, just 1 degree off. But that 1 degree off for long enough and you end up way off track, right? And so I encourage you, even though I want you to spend the weekend doing amazing, epic shit, right? Having fun, disconnecting, but take a step back and really look at it from that place of self-ownership. Have you really been honest with yourself about what's happening in your life, in your health, in your relationships, and in your leadership? Like, get really honest. And I am encouraging you to do this with love and not judgment, okay? Because again, if you're a high performer, like I'm a high performer, one, we are great at fucking lying to ourselves. We are not honest. We are just gonna alleviate the discomfort in the moment. And again, things are gonna get off track pretty quickly because we are just great at like, no, it's all good. Let me just push through. Right? Guilty. Give me some love if you're like, oh, yep, done that. Right? Just pushing through rather than stopping and being really honest with ourselves about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing, and just having that check in with just the full check. Like, oh, wait, what's really happening here? So be honest with yourself. Being honest in owning your truth, because that is where your power comes from. When you're in full ownership of everything, like, well, Nobody can use this against me because I'm fully aware and I own it. And once you own it, that empowers you to be able to make the change that you need to, whether it's in ownership of something that's good, that can still be dialed in for those of you that are maxed out on time and generating the results that you want, right? Like, well, it's all good. It's just not where I want it to be because I don't want to be maxed out on time anymore, right? I want more breathing room. It's all good. Being in this place of radical ownership too, this is where we get to take more responsibility for ourselves. And this is that control piece, right? Because again, it's easy to get distracted by all this shit that's not within our control, looking at the results, looking at the symptoms, looking at the goals. Because remember, results at the end of the day are not within our control. We can only control the actions we take to get there. That's it, right? So you have control over you and also letting go of all the stuff that's not yours to control, right? That's all part of this radical responsibility and ownership. And the reason this is so important is because it's going to help you for the next step in not reacting. That is the most empowered thing that you can do in the midst of anything external happening. Like I said, being unconditional. So you are not reacting to anything that's happening in the economy, in the news, any of that shit, right? No reaction, because you are responsible for you. You are in control of you. You are in ownership of not only who you are right now, but where the hell you're going. It's important, right? This is pivoting back into really empowered energy. This is massive fuel to, again, inevitably be recession proof. Thank you so much. Bringing the fire, right? Loving this. You are so welcome. So in that radical ownership as well, this is that opportunity to recognize where we need to grow in order to weather the potential of difficult times, right? So it's not about functioning from a place of fear, because again, we are not reacting. We are just in the place of ownership and honesty to say, okay, well, if something were to deviate or derail, I absolutely 1000% know who I need to be, how I need to show up, and what I need to do to get my goals. Simple as that. Nothing fear-based, nothing crazy down the road. Because remember, the more we are dialed in and empowered and clear and confident and connecting our brand and our message to not only our team, but to our clients, we get the results we want every time. So, and it's clarity on how you must grow for this forward vision, for this vision driving. All right. And how to lead your team to match those big goals. Because remember, we've got to be it first. We got to be it, then do it, then have it. I know I digress just a little bit, but most people function from the have, do, be. Well, let me have the money so I can take the vacation so I can be happy. It's the opposite. You got to be the leader that matches the big goals, then take the actions that support getting those goals, and then you'll have the impact you desire. All right, number 2 of the big shifts. This is about elevating your personal boundaries. This is super important because, again, like I said, everything that happens in your ecosystem starts with you, starts at the top. You've got to lead by example. So if you have good boundaries with you, AKA consistently showing up for you, doing the things you need to do, the self-care, the routines, the exercise, the eating well, the sleep hygiene, all the things that fill your cup so you are showing up and being the best you, again, that helps make you completely impervious to any of those external conditions. Now, the next layer to those boundaries are you are really solid in respecting your time. That is the biggest resource that I see leaders hemorrhaging all the time, especially when they decide to scale, they decide to grow, they decide to go to that next level, which means now sacrificing something, which is generally time and self. Anybody give me an amen on that one? Been there, done that, sister, right? If you've ever canceled on yourself, worked extra hours to grind it out and get something done because you want to get to that big goal or that next level, I know, I've been there, done that. Give me some love. You know, you've been there, right? The high performance paradox. Let me just do more of what I know has generated results in the past, even though I know it's the exact thing stopping me from getting to the next level. Because anytime we rely on a limited resource like time, you will always max out. We'd have to learn to function differently, and that happens through boundaries. Woo, that's fire. Yeah, be it, do it, have it. Yes, we tend to think if I have XYZ, then I can do the rest. Exactly. So boundaries are the implementation. So because boundaries are a skill set. This is what we actually do. And keep in mind, like, boundaries truly are energetic. So it's how you end up managing things like not taking on other people's negative shit, their energy and their emotions. But the way that we build the habit is through the action of actually, okay, I'm respecting self today and doing what I committed to for me. I'm respecting my time today and holding to my boundaries with my schedule. And I'm also, and this is the next important piece to boundaries and leading your team and your clients, is now you've set the stage and the example for them. You are holding your team accountable. Consequences if they don't do the things that, you know, the clear expectations you've set, right? And again, this is not reacting to anything because you are in control of you and you let go of control of the things that are not yours. So the magic in the boundaries is you become a better leader because you're delegating more effectively, communicating more effectively the expectations, and either celebrating the wins or having consequences, clear, effective consequences if people don't match the expectations, right? The beauty of this, boundaries are the secret sauce to your culture, because you can have core values all day long, but the boundaries are what hold to those core values. That's it. That's where the consistency comes from. That's where the discipline comes from. That's where this beautiful framework that creates internal safety. You want to be unconditional and completely impervious to anything happening externally, like a recession or not. Have boundaries, because that is internal safety that now you as the leader extend to your team. The magic there is they stop looking externally for the answers and lean back into the ecosystem and what you're doing to support them in their success, because everything within your culture is safe. That is one of the most powerful things you can create in your corporate culture. Safety. This feeling of internal safety for your whole ecosystem. And that all goes back to boundaries. Loving it. Thank you so much. So the last one, and this goes back to my post from Tuesday, is now boundaries are one of those fundamentals, but really larger picture, bigger picture, however you want to say it. Bigger picture is scaling and elevating your fundamentals as a whole to match where you're going, to match the vision. Because remember, if you're being it, you're going to do it, you're going to have it. So you've got to step into being the leader that matches the big, juicy goals that you're desiring. And again, the more you're in that space, you're recession proofing, because it doesn't matter what's happening around you. You're already being in the mindset, the leadership, the energy, the emotion of that version of you, right? 80% of your success comes from this internal stuff. And yet most people spend the bulk of their time, energy, and emotion focusing on external stuff, strategies, sales, planning, projections, all the stuff, or putting out the fires all the time, right? The reacting. So the post that I shared on Tuesday was about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, already top of his game, considered one of the best golfers in the world, potentially of all time, even when he was still in his 20s. Crazy to say. However, he wanted to elevate his performance. He had a vision of an even bigger goal. He knew where he wanted to go, and he was wise enough to know who he was being and the skills that he had were not going to get him there. He wanted a better edge. He wanted to elevate his performance, right? He's like, I know I can play even better. So he could feel that wealth of untapped power and potential. And he knew he needed to tap into that part of himself in order to get to that next level. So he hired a coach who told him he needed to change his swing. So the fundamental was swing, right? I mean, that's the basics in golf. You got to swing the club to hit the ball, get it where it's going to go. And he had to relearn, go back to the basics of the fundamentals and completely relearn how to hit the ball, basically how to swing the club to change, to access more of who he knew he was capable of being and generate the results that he wanted. So you as a leader, to be completely recession proof, this is the time to, from your ownership and the boundaries, sit with yourself and look at what are those fundamentals you need to revisit and rebuild in order to get to that next level, to allow it to happen faster, easier. Yes, it can be easier because if you're smart like me, we are great at overcomplicating the shit out of everything. So it can be easier and more effortless. That's how you start taking your time back, having more freedom and more fulfillment when you revisit those fundamentals. So you might be at that place right now, whereas Tiger Woods, you're like, ooh, okay, I got big, giant, amazing goal up here. I'm right here. I don't have any more time because I'm already maxed out. I really want that freedom and fulfillment while generating an even bigger impact. How do I close the gap? And closing the gap is about going back to the foundation of who you are and shifting a few pieces of those fundamentals, of those foundation aspects of who you are to elevate your lifestyle, your leadership, and your legacy. It is that simple. It doesn't mean it's easy. However, it's about getting to the right root things in those fundamentals. So a lot of people like to talk about mindset, right? I'm like, yeah, I help people with mindset. But really, I am in this space of mindset as a result. It is an umbrella, right? There's a lot under your mindset as far as beliefs and stories and programming and habit loops and all of the different layers to the thoughts and emotions you're having, the skills you have around how you self-manage and master and self-lead. And that's got to match the next level goals. So if you go right to the root and address just plucking the right things, you can get results very, very, very quickly. The key is understanding who can help you with getting to that root. So if you need to scale your fundamentals, if you're like, oh shit, like things are going really well, we're at a good space, but you recognize, ooh, I might not have everything that I need to get to that next level, because you're recognizing, here's the main thing we all say, oh, if I could just get out of my own way. Give me some love if you've ever said that one. Right? If I could just get out of my own way, I'd be there so much faster. I'd have that goal by now, right? So it's breaking out of the sabotage cycle in all the ways that you're slowing yourself down. So that goes back to the beginning of this conversation today, right? Who do you need to be to not only match your goals, but make your success so inevitable that you are recession proof and you get to elevate your entire team, business, family along the way. So it's getting right to the root of exactly where those beliefs, those programs, those stories, those hiccups, those habit loops are popping in to create the sabotage cycle and slow your success. And even if it doesn't feel slow, but you know it could be faster, again, there are still blocks or anchors, weights, baggage slowing things down. It's all about optimizing and relearning some of those key fundamentals. So if that is something you know needs to shift and you're ready to allow that to happen quickly, I got you. I got you, because, hey, I am an Iraq War veteran. I am all about freedom right now because it's the 4th of July. It's something so deeply passionate for me. So important that's why I came up with what we've got going on now, right now, with our Freedom Fireworks Bogo Sale, right? How many times I hear people complaining, man, I know I'd be getting my goals so much faster if, and here's those external conditions coming in, if my spouse was also doing personal development, if my business partner was also working on their mindset, right? Then I know we'd be there so much faster because I wouldn't be distracted by that stuff. So that's why I created this BOGO opportunity, only available through July 5th, to get that inner circle person who's important to you on board on this journey with you, to get to the root and elevate those fundamentals. So you know what I'm talking about, right? We're talking boundaries. We're talking discipline and consistency, like on lock. We're talking about creating more time, getting the results even faster, and experiencing the freedom and fulfillment you desire, right? All of the things. And it doesn't have to take forever, because this is high performance inner work. I don't know about you, but I'm the same type of person. I want results yesterday. So, it's not necessarily yesterday, but it can happen super fast, super fast. So we've got the BOGO special happening right now. And you can go to beinfluential.com/BOGO. I'll pop it in the comments. For those of you who are watching now, you can always pop in the comments too. This is the opportunity. This is basically your 2-for-1. You're eliminating one excuse because we're bringing our significant other, our business partner, somebody on our key leadership team along the journey with us. And you're also getting to rebuild those fundamentals. So like Tiger Woods, you're shifting the way in which you're swinging the club to hit the ball, get the goal even, or get the score, right? Get your goals even faster. I'm just rambling at this point. That's so funny. So, like I said, we are only having this through the holiday. This is now through July 5th, doors close. So this is that time to rebuild the fundamentals, get those boundaries dialed in, create more time, more freedom, more fulfillment, while absolutely ensuring no external conditions are going to get in the way anymore. Not at all. So I'd love to know who is excited, who is What are your plans for the 4th of July? Are you excited? Are you in? Are you joining us in Influential Mastermind? We've got amazing, amazing clients in there doing big, phenomenal things. Some of the people have already been messaging me like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the people. They're working less. They're earning more. I want that. So they're coming in to be a part of this ecosystem, a part of this family. Oh, and keep in mind, if you want more support than what is on the page, come join us, come opt in for the BOGO, and we can have that conversation during your VIP onboarding session. If that's something you want to add on, a higher level of support to ensure you know you have the accountability, the check-ins, all the things that you need, those will be the conversations that we have. You can add that on if you would like to. So don't worry, we got you. Everything that we do is customized, nothing cookie cutter. So you absolutely will get right to the root of the exact things you know you need, those fundamentals to match those next level goals. So you're in radical ownership and honesty, right? Who you need to be, where you're going, have the boundaries on lock with you, with your time and energy, and with those other people around you, and absolutely elevate all the rest of the fundamentals in your foundation to ensure you are able to unleash that power and potential that is just waiting for your next level of impact, genius, passion, and purpose. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever about our Influential Empower Mastermind, about the BOGO offer, about any opportunities for higher levels of support, anything like that, hit me up in the DMs. I am happy to answer any of your questions. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a joyful and blessed and safe 4th of July holiday. And I am excited to see how much awesomeness we crush and create going into the second half of 2022. Have an amazing day. And remember, as always, you are enough. Bye.